So, ladies and gents, Suicide Squad, an abysmal failure of a film. Massively. 26%, 58%. But there's still hope. David Ayer says his cut was vastly better and the theatrical version was fundamentally changed. This is some interesting stuff. And I want to pose the question, do you really think James Gunn will allow this cut to be released when his film was built off the back of the cut that was released? It's an interesting prospect. Now, I'm not saying either way. I just think it's interesting. You've got to remember is that James Gunn's film The Suicide Squad was a sequel to Suicide Squad. It's built off the back of that film. People compare it to that film in a positive light. Now, James Gunn is the CEO of DC Studios. Do you think he will allow the Ayer cut to be released? Now, there's two ways to look at this: an artistic perspective and a business perspective. From a business perspective, there is the potential that releasing the Ayer cut, it's filmed, it's there, it's ready to go, would be smart business. And then there's the artistic sense, where you look at it and you go, well, hold on a minute. Does he want to be overshadowed? Now, again, I'm not saying either way. I just think it's an interesting thought experiment. So basically, David Ayer has obviously been discussing his film for some time about the Ayer cut. And like I say, the film was it was an absolute bomb. Like, fucking hell, terrible movie. And loads of people... Then it's actually my example. It's my go-to example of why the Oscars are worth absolutely fuck all. Because this film won Oscars. It won some Oscars. If you can believe it. And it won it for the most outrageously pathetic stuff, like costume and makeup. They were awful. They were absolutely terrible. So it's an unmitigated disaster. An absolutely unmitigated disaster. Garbage film from start to finish. Look, if you like this film, sure, whatever. But I thought it was absolute dog shit. It was a terrible film, in my opinion. And this is my channel, so I'm telling you my opinion. But again, this film was released in 2016 to negative reviews. I mean, it was basically a prolonged music video. That's all the film was. It was just a music video. But from then on, of course, we had the Snyder Cut released. Loads of people were pretty happy with that. They wanted that to be released, and it was released. And from then, you got loads of people going, oh, okay, cool. Well, can we get the Ayer cut then? Sure, maybe. And then that became a movement. # release the Ayer cut. And there's a lot of people that want that film. And David Ayer has continued to talk about it, bring it up. And you know what? He's pretty smart to do so. Because this is a film which has tarnished his career. Through no fault of his own, if what he's saying is true. And you know what? Good on him for being a champion of that. If what he's saying is true, he had his film absolutely butchered apart in the edit bay. And it's the most peculiar turn of events. The film was basically edited together by a fucking trailer house. Like an actual trailer edit house. Total shit show. But basically responded to someone who said the filmmaker's original cut will never see the light of day. Ayer was quick to remind everyone that what we saw in theatres wasn't what he made. He said, normally, you're absolutely right. This is an extraordinary case of a movie being utterly re-engineered in post by a fucking trailer house, not an actual movie edit bay. And he goes, it's not a couple of cutscenes being added. The nature of the film was fundamentally changed. I'm looking you in the eye, telling you this. My cut is vastly better. And this is, basically, so someone says, oh, it's never going to happen. He's like, why not? And someone was like, I'm sorry, anything that wasn't included in the theatrical version is an afterthought. And it's called a director's cut when they add scenes to a movie. It wasn't because it was too dark and scary for toddlers. I don't think that movie was going to be too scary for toddlers. That movie's not too scary for, well, anyone. That's not what the film is about. It's not, it's not a scary film by any stretch. So again, they keep pushing this out. They keep doing it. Edited up by a trailer park. I mean, for goodness sake. Now, obviously, this article notes, it's no secret that Jared Leto's Joker was set to have a much bigger, vastly different role. I don't think that would have made it better. Just as an FYI, Jared Leto's Joker was shit, absolutely shit. Awful, terrible. But yes, his sort of appearance, disappearance, reappearance, his whole role in the film is choppy at best, and it's not helped by the edit for sure. But I don't think, anyone's going to like his role anyway. Let's put it that way. But of course, there was going to be Harley Quinn and Deadshot's romantic relationship. That was going to be explored. That was pretty apparent anyway. In the cut that we did see, it would have been nice to see that a little bit more. There's going to be backstories for Slipknot and Enchantress. They were scrapped. Why Enchantress was the villain, for goodness sake. And the only thing that we did get, ladies and gents, was her doing some shitty little belly dance. It was a joke. And Slipknot just died straight away. And then, of course, Katana and El Diablo. El Diablo being the emotional driver for the third act, his sort of death. He was going to have a bigger presence as well in the final act. So that would have made more sense. And obviously, Katana's just a cool character that just went nowhere anyway, so bizarre. But El Diablo was actually going to survive as well. So, yeah, Warner Brothers decided to just blitz the film, give it to a trailer house, and then we just get a total mess and joke of a film. So, yeah, smart. But like I said at the start, what do you think, right? Do you think, that we've got sort of two opposing sides here? We've got, of course, the artistic element, where you've got James Gunn. His follow-up was the follow-up to this. It's praised because it was the follow-up and it was better. I personally didn't really like it that much. I didn't think his film was that great. The Suicide Squad. I didn't like it that much. But do you think there's that element there where he's going to be like, oh, well, maybe, but maybe not? Or from a business side of things, do you think this will ever see the light of day because it's there? They could just make it. Let me know what you think. Cheers, guys. Take care.